or to Ron Brown. And it is Ron Brown 2 yards deep in the end zone. And he is out to about the 19-yard line. He'll have 20 yards on the return. Melvin Jenkins is the man who tripped him up. Now let's take a look at that Raider offense. Their offensive line, its strength, the middle three, the center and the 2 guards. They have been controlling the line of scrimmage, backs and receivers. The key here, the blocking of fullback Steve Smith, the running of Marcus Allen. On passing downs, Smith is replaced by Tim Brown, thus giving Jay Schrader 3 quality wide receivers. Play action fake. Schrader has all the time in the world, but the coverage is there downfield. He scrambles out to the 27. He has 8. It'll be second down and a couple.
That's a little bit of a surprise to me, Charlie, because one of the things that one of their offensive coordinators, Tom Walsh, had talked about yesterday was the fact that they were averaging close to 6 yards on first down runs. But they want to change some things up because obviously Seattle has to be very cognizant of the running game because that's been the forte of the Raiders thus far.
So it'll be second down and 2 at the 27-yard line. Ball game just underway. Smith and Allen, the running back. And Schrader to Marcus Allen. Marcus has the first down as he goes across the 30 to the 33-yard line where Jeff Bryant makes the tackle. That Seattle defense, defensive front 7. Rufus Porter, number 97, has become a force to be reckoned with. On passing downs, Seattle is now beginning to move him around while bringing out Joe Nash and the other 2 linebackers. Thus, Melvin Jenkins, Robert Blackman, and James Jefferson make a total of 7 defensive backs. They'll be tested today by the arm of Schrader and the speed of the Raider wide receivers. Play action fake, looking to go deep. He fires on target. Seattle territory, 44-yard line, Mervin Fernandez. Patrick Hunter with a tackle and a gain of 23 yards on the play.
Well, there's only been 2 passing plays, but what has appeared to be, I think Seattle doesn't.
Arian Butts and a couple of touchdowns.
Has here. Play action, but he's got all the time in the world to throw, and that's exactly what you need for this 20-yard in route. They say that Jay Schrader throws this better than practically anybody in the league, and Fernandez has been their go-to receiver. A big first down.
And for Mervin, let me get the quick note in. This is his 500th professional reception. That's including Canada and the NFL.
Oh, the Canadian ones don't count, do they?
They do. As an asterisk to history. Spin move by Marcus Allen, but he's dropped for a loss by Rufus Porter.
Well, Cortez Kennedy was in there initially, and that's what they're paying him a big money for. Number 96 for the Seahawks is somebody that they waited a long time to get him into camp. He was somebody that held out practically all the way through training camp. And they're counting on him to be a cornerstone of their defense.
So a loss of a couple at second and 12. The ball at the 46-yard line of Seattle. No score in the ball game. Opening drive here in the Coliseum. The Raiders with a record of 4-1. The Seahawks with a record of 2-3. Losing their first 3, then winning their last 2. Raider again with all the time in the world, goes deep. This time it is Willie Gull to the 27-yard line. Eugene Robinson with a tackle after a gain of 19.
Well, the protection is terrific, and one of the flaws that they see that Schrader is unmolested. He has plenty of time. Willie Galt takes the safe route there and going down because, hey, who wants to get hit if you've already got the yardage, right?
The ball just outside the 27, first down. Fernandez in motion. Play action late. Reverse to Fernandez with 2 blockers in front. Not that good a stutter step move by Mervin.
No, Mervin, that's not Mervin's strength at all. You know, of course, they never, that's usually a play that they reserve for Tim Brown. Usually when Tim Brown goes in the game, they want to get him the ball on the reverse. But they had it set up fairly well. But again, a little bit hesitant there, and a good job of the secondary to come up to make the play. Right there, it looks pretty well developed. You see Wisniewski pulling out in front of him, and it appears that he's got a pretty good. But right there, he's hesitating, waiting and waiting. And Glasgow makes a terrific play. Nesby, the veteran, coming out to only have a 2-yard or 1-yard gain in this case. And
it's second down.
films, Mervin's going to get criticized for not having that all-world speed again.
Willie Gault's in motion. Gault has it, and he is out of bounds at the 18-yard line.
I don't know if this is a conscious thing on the part of Art Shell, but one of the things that has been criticized of Willie Gault over the last couple of years is that he's a one-dimensional receiver. He has a career receiving average of over 20 yards a catch, but somebody with this kind of speed can certainly be effective in the short passing game, as we've seen here, as he's caught 2 balls in the intermediate and short range.
And the change will move out on the field as we'll check for the first down.
Very effective drive by the Raiders. Nearly 5 minutes consumed thus far.
So Los Angeles with a first down just inside the 18-yard line. So officially it becomes a 17-yard line.
Their big chance to see Chuck Knox. Chuck Knox is the only coach in NFL history to have won a division title in 3 separate divisions. He did it with the Bills in the AFC East, with the Seahawks 2 years ago, and he did it with the Rams in the NFC West.
Schrader incomplete to Steve Smith. His first incompletion.
Jay's trying to tell him at the sidelines that they didn't make the right move. He needed to cut farther to the outside to give him a little bit more of a passing lane.
So Schrader 3 for 4 in this opening drive, and it is 2nd down and 10.
They've done an excellent job of having Jay take a lot less chances. You know, Jay is a lot more conservative, but he's much more effective. His average per attempt is the highest in the National Football League, hence one of the reasons why he is the top-rated passer in the AFC.
2nd down, Gault in motion. Coming back to this side to the tight end, Ethan Horton. And Horton to about the 11-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4 as Patrick Hunter and Rufus Porter bring him down at that point.
Charlie, 5 years ago, Ethan Horton was the #1 draft pick of the Kansas City team, and they thought they had big plans for him. He was a tall running back, and they figured that he was going to do a lot of things for them, but it never quite panned out. I remember Steve Ortmeyer, now special teams coach for the Raiders at the time, telling me that he was going to be the next Pro Bowl tight end for the Raiders. So far it hasn't materialized, but this is actually Ethan's first full year as the starter for the Raiders as a result of the injury to Mike Dye.
Jim Brown is in, Steve Smith is out, 3 wide receivers on the set, 3rd down and 4. And it is Tim Brown as he goes to the 5-yard line and has the first down.
Charlie, this is the same route that Willie Gault ran earlier to get the first down. What it is he's going in motion. All he's going to do is run a flat route. What happens is you're running across the field trying to keep up with him, and he's already got the angle. It's a 5-yard out right here, and Tim Brown just uses his speed to get the first down. That's tough coverage for Patrick Hunter. It's tough to run all the way across the field and stay with speedsters like Brown and Gault for the entire duration.
Ethan Horton and Andy Parker are in. Double tight end on the set. Schrader on the drive. 5 of 6 for 62 yards. And he goes to the 1-yard line.
Part of the problem of the Raiders in the past has been their ability to finish. They've done an outstanding job this year of finishing drives when they get near the goal line, getting it in the end zone.
Marcus Allen on NFL Live earlier today in a live interview said that he had asked for a trade before the season started.
Well, that would have been the time to do it, too. That would have been the fortuitous time to have him traded across town to the Rams, because then he could have been reunited with his old college coach, and the Raiders would have had another pass rusher, and at that time a disgruntled Kevin Green. But now I think the trade's not going to happen. I think it's going to be too late.
And Marcus, usually you look for him to go over the top here, but this time he slides to the right. He does not make it in. And Joe Kane is there to plug up the hole.
But then again, the Seahawks know that he goes over the top, too. And as you can see, Darren Como does a good job in the middle of the pile to prevent him from doing just that.
When I talked with Marcus in practice yesterday, I said, you know, how practice has been this week? He said, just so-so. He said, coming off of the loss last week, we really haven't gotten it back yet. He said, tomorrow will be the big test. We'll find out if we're a good football team or not.
Well, right here, he doesn't get into the end zone. But you know what, Charlie? With regards to that idea of practice, this initial drive is going a long ways towards getting people's memories off of last week. There was a game they felt they should have won, ahead by 10 points with 8 minutes left in the game. Now they have a terrific drive. They've driven 80 yards now and consumed nearly...
Being administered to, so it looks as if, at least for the moment, that he's all right. We'll try and have an official report for you. For the Raiders, they took the ball at their own 19-yard line. They have now moved it in some 13 plays to the 1-yard line of the Seahawks. It is third down and goal to go.
Charlie, they held him on a 4th down near the end of the first half. The first time they played with Marcus going over the top.
Play action fake to Marcus. The throw to Smith. It's there. Touchdown. Steve Smith. So a very impressive opening drive for the Raiders.
Charlie, when you have a weapon like Marcus Allen, somebody that you know is going to go over the top, I mean, here's a guy that scored 84 touchdowns, so you got to figure on third down, you're going to go to your bread and butter. He turns out to be the ideal decoy. Here you see the play action, everybody bunches in. Steve Smith just sidesteps there, and he's wide open in the flat for the touchdown.
And as Steve Smith told us yesterday, I just wait my turn. Well, it became his turn for the touchdown.
He's definitely one of the unsung heroes for the Raiders. Terrific ball player.
And the extra point by Jager is up, and it is good. And the score, Los Angeles 7 and Seattle nothing, with 6:49 time remaining. We're in the first quarter at the Coliseum as Schrader celebrates. The opening drive of the Raiders consumed 8 minutes and 11 seconds off of the clock. Jeff Jager to kick off. Derek LaBelle and Chris Warren are the return men. And it goes out of bounds at the 3-yard line, so the Seahawks will have it at their own 35, first down.
Free kick out of bounds. By rule, the ball is to be placed on the 35-yard line. First down.
Jeff Chadwick and Paul Scansey come in as extra wide receivers. Seattle on offense for the first time in the ballgame. And they open up with Fenner, and he has a couple of yards to the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8, so let's look at the defense for the Raiders. Their front 7 with Howie Long and Mike Wise both out with injuries, so Los Angeles today will use a lot more situation substitutions. On passing downs, Bob Golick and 2 linebackers will come out. Aaron Wallace comes in as a pass rusher. Then Torrin Doran and Elvis Patterson join a secondary that plays man coverage 50% of the time. That is the most in the National Football League. To John L, and he is dropped for a loss. He'll lose a couple back to the 35 as Ricky Ellison really nailed him. And yesterday he told us he's having fun playing ball.
Well, he is, and Ricky Ellison's doing an outstanding job. Both middle linebackers for the Raiders are via the plan B route. Here you see great pursuit on the part. Millard's the one that's trying to get him, but Ellison's just too fast. He comes in and meets him, and you know, it's interesting. In effect, the 49ers and the Raiders traded middle linebackers. The Raiders now have Ricky Ellison, and of course the 49ers are very happy with Matt Millen.
And it'll be 3rd down and 10, 6 in the secondary. Craig from the shotgun. Has pressure for the backside. Dumps it off underneath. And John L. goes across the 45, so he'll pick up the first down. And it's a first down at the Seattle 46. Raiders lead in the ballgame 7-0. First time that the Seahawks have had an opportunity on offense. And they give us to Fenner. And he has got 3 to the 49, so it'll be 2nd down and 7 as Bill Pickell makes a stop. And his role expanded, of course, with Mike Wise and Howie Long out with the injury. And it is 2nd down and 7. Craig to Fenner, who goes up, pulls it down, and makes a great move. Outstanding reception, makes a move after he comes down, picks up the first down. Tom Benson with the tackle. He's impressive.
Yeah, you know, it's Charlie, his middle linebackers go Thomas Benson.
How's that?
He reminds me a little bit of Calvin Hill.
And here he is. And he breaks it clean, and inside the 30, first down, he's out of bounds. He goes to the 28-yard line.
I remember because I was at the game by Kellen Winslow.
And a check of the late scores. And it is a first down at the Raider 28-yard line. John Elway shut off inside, may lean for a yard. That's about all that he's going to get as Jerry Robinson is there to bring him down.
Charlie, when we were talking to John L. yesterday, we talked about the fact that, he was going to be a featured player in the offense.
For the team, he knows his role. It doesn't bother him. There's Kurt Warner and now there's Finner, and he knows he's going to have his opportunity.
And if a quarterback tells you that, that has to say a lot about the play.
Craig rolling right, stops, steps back, fires, and it is complete. Then dropped. It's incomplete.
Oh, no. That's tough. Travis McNeil doesn't get that many chances. Mike Harden made a reasonable play, but the ball hit him in the chest. This is a great adjustment by Dave Craig. He wanted to get it to John L. underneath. That's the misdirection play that's so effective for them. He goes this way, and you can see right there John L. coming underneath. That's who he wants to get, but Jerry Robinson covers him. The tight end's coming deeper, and he throws a dart right into his chest. That's got to be frustrating for Dave Craig. Good adjustment here going to the secondary receiver. Right there. He's got to hang on to that ball. Got to catch that ball, especially as a tight end. You don't get that many chances.
Well,
I got more chances than McNeil did.
Third down and 9 at the 27-yard line.
If you're asking me if I'd have caught that ball, yeah.
Oh, you had it all the way. Pressure from the backside, and he is down at the 40-yard line. A loss of 13 yards. Scott Davis got him.
Charlie, this is big in a lot of ways. This knocks him out of field goal range. But what's interesting, if you get a chance to look at Scott Davis, is that a lot of times a defender doesn't know when to go for the tackle. Scott Davis knows that he's not as fast as Dave Craig. Right here, he feels that it's breaking down, pushing Madison in the backfield. Right there, he dives. Right there.
He's got a sock.
Yeah. If he keeps running and tries to make a tackle around the shoulders, he doesn't get him. Right there, he knows I'm not fast enough. I'll dive, take a shot. Sure enough, he trips him up. Great play by Davis.
So fourth down, Rick Downing will just try to punch it out of bounds.
Or hammer it into the end zone.
Or float it through the end zone.
Helps the gross average.
And so the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. The score, the Raiders 7 and the Seahawks nothing. Dave Craig has been the hottest quarterback in the NFL.
Well, one of the things that they did early on, Charlie, is in the Chicago game, they tried to go with the run and shoot, and that just didn't work. That's not Chuck Knox's bailiwick. It's running the ball, and he's been very effective. And let's mention the fact that the emergence of Derek Fenner over the last 3 weeks, 8 touchdowns, has certainly helped the Seattle offense.
So the Raiders now on offense for the second time in the ballgame. Los Angeles leads by a score of 7-0, and they start now from their own 20-yard line. Their first drive started from their own 19. And they come out throwing again. Willie Gall. Gall a good inside-outside move. And he picks up the first down as he goes to the 34-yard line. Gain of 14. Eugene Robinson makes the tackle. And how is the secondary going to shut down these receivers for the Raiders?
Well, obviously, the Raiders have the reputation for this great speed. But as I mentioned a little bit earlier, one of the things that Willie Gall can be effective with is catching the short ball. He's had the habit of dropping too many earlier, but right now it seems to be the Willie Gall show. That's his third catch, and he's really messing things up for the Seattle secondary. He,
along with Herschel Walker and Edwin Moses, eligible for the international bobsled competition. What do you think about that?
I think it's interesting. Hey,
I think it's cold.
Well, I think Bo Jackson's rubbed off on him. He wants to do something else. He wants that money.
And here's Marcus out. From the 34 to the 36. It'll be second down and 8. Tony Woods with the tackle. Now let's go back to the bobsled. I think that these are great athletes from another sport. I think they will add a lot to that.
I think it'll certainly add the interest of the Winter Olympics because, quite frankly, I think that a lot of times people aren't hip to what's going on. If they can have some recognizable names, the Galts and the Moseses and the Herschel Walker, sure, they'll be tuned in to see what's going on with that.
And helps from a sponsor standpoint also.
Absolutely.
Time running out in the first quarter. And here is Ethan Horton, and he breaks a couple of tackles, and he goes to the 40-yard line of Seattle.
Boy, I like to see the Raiders use that tight end. Makes my heart feel good.
A gain of 23 yards as the first quarter comes to a close. With the score, the Raiders 7 and the Seahawks nothing. Coliseum as we start the second quarter. The Raiders in front of the Seahawks by a score of 7-0. Next Sunday, NBC doubleheader. NFL Live will start it all. Denver, Indianapolis, Jets, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Raiders, San Diego, Kansas City, Seattle. So Check the local listings for the game or 2 games in your area. And NFL Live at halftime, Will O.J. and the new kid on the block, Dick Enberg, is there. Watch the show this morning. Did a good job. Way to go, Dick.
It's a little far-fetched to say new kid on the block, don't you?
Well, on that block.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That block.
All right.
Not on this block.
The 30 Rock block.
The 30 Rock block.
I guess he took my advice about, throwing 3/4 on. I was talking to him about that yesterday.
Is that what it was? I was wondering what you were talking about. And here is Marcus Allen, and Marcus makes the cut. And he'll go to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up the first down before Robinson and Hunter make the tackle. A gain of 11 yards on the play.
One of the things that you look at in an older running back is his ability to make those moves behind the line. What happens when you reach the age of 30 is sometimes you get a little bit slower. Obviously, he has not gotten slower. Take a look at this. 7,529 yards and 84 touchdowns. And for the life of me, I don't understand why in the last 4 years he has been in and out of the doghouse of Al Davis. Al Davis, remember on NFL Live, mentioned the point. He says, I don't want to have a tailback featured offense, but isn't it ironic that the last full season the Raiders had a winning record was in 1985 when they were 12-4, and Marcus Allen led the NFL in rushing with 1,759 yards.
Raiders pass is complete outside Fernandez. Fernandez inside the 10 and out of bounds. Darren Como finally got him. Eugene Robinson also there. Mark it at the 9.
Does the phrase going on all cylinders mean anything to you? They're spreading the ball around, doing a terrific job of getting everybody involved in the offense. Here, Mervin Fernandez, who has been the strong suit of the Raider passing game over the last couple of games, makes a nice move and shows that he can do it after he makes the catch.
Schrader now 9 of 10, 122 yards and a touchdown. And here is Marcus, and he'll go to the 4-yard line. It'll be second down and goal to go. Let's check the 10-minute ticker. There it is. Washington leading, Denver leading, and Phoenix leading, all in the late games.
Phoenix needs to win badly there.
Art Shell, when we talked to him yesterday, he said on this ball club, leave your ego at the gate because we're here to win.
Or you'll have to deal with him individually, which nobody wants to do.
Steve Smith. He may get a yard. It's going to be third down and goal to go.
This will be an interesting call because of the fact that right now they've had their 2 tight end situation, and now Willie Gault comes back in. I think they're going to go with 3 wides.
The players that we talked to, the Raiders yesterday, all said how much fun it is to play for Art. They come in the fact he is a former player, a recent former player, and he knows what we go through. And I thought that's a very telling quote.
Strategy and X's and O's are overrated, Charlie. If you have a coach that can create an atmosphere for you to be successful in, that to me is a top priority, and that's exactly what Art Shell has done for the Raiders.
Touchdown, Los Angeles.
This is a terrific catch by Mervin Fernandez. It doesn't look like it's that difficult, but Jay Schrader can really throw a bullet. And right here, you're going right in the middle of the field. You know you're going to get hit. He reaches up with the hands, takes the collision there from Blackman, but he ends up winning. He has the touchdown. Look at that. It knocked his helmet practically clean off. And once again, Jay Schrader, he looks like the master out there today. He's having a terrific game.
The extra point is good. And the score, Los Angeles 14, Seattle nothing. 12:01 left to go in the second.
Receiver. Right here, this is a slant route right here, and there's going to be an absolute dart here. But what's going to happen is you're going to have a conglomeration of all these white shirts right there in the middle. And this is where you see whether or not the receiver has it. And great courage, and sure enough, Fernandez had it here. Look at all the white shirts. He's not necessarily open, but he throws a laser, and Fernandez comes up with the catch. Okay, I take it back. That 500 catches that you added up with the Canadian thing, now it's valid as a result of that catch.
Okay.
He's earned his stripes.
So Jeff Jager will be kicking off. 80-yard drive in 8 plays, just over 4.5 minutes. Lavelle and Warren are the deep backs on the return. And Lavelle will down it 5 yards deep in the end zone. So we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. We have a Raider record, an unofficial Raider record now with 11:54 time remaining in the first half. There has not been a flag in the ball game. There has been one, and that was on a kickoff that went out of bounds. Now quickly to Dick Enberg in New York City.
Flag at halftime.
Or the flag will be picked up. First down.
As in, oh, excuse me, that's right, the generic we. That's right, I did play for the Raiders. I forgot. Okay. There was actually a flag before the thing was even kicked off. One of the coaches got an argument, so that really does surprise me. But here we are in the second quarter, there's not a flag.
Okay, everybody stand by, because after this play, we're liable to go to New York.
I can't wait.
From the 20-yard line, Craig swings it out right side, and John L. is hit, spins away from Terry McDaniel, picks up a couple of yards, and we warned you we're going to do it. Thank you, Dick. I know you've been in Southern California. The weather is awesome today. It always is when we're out of town.
Now, why would you do that to the new kid on the block, try to fake him out like that?
Good job. Derek Finner to the 21-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
On the play before, Charlie, they had ruled that John L. Williams' knee was down for a 2-yard loss. So in case you're wondering why the yardage discrepancy, that's the reason. Chuck Knox has a pretty good record against these Raiders.
He does.
He's done fairly well against them in his career.
And the players, when we talked to them yesterday, all commented on the leadership of Chuck Knox. He said, because we play on emotion. We're not as good physically maybe as everybody else, but he puts it all together and he leads it. 3rd down and 9. Flag is down on the play, and it's going to be I'm sure it's going to be a call against the offensive line of Seattle.
Looked to me like Andy Hick might have picked up his hand a little bit.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
66 or 65. 14. Seattle trailing 14-0. 10-19 and counting. Time remaining second quarter here in the Coliseum. Craig runs out of time, and he tries to hit John L. Comes up short, and it'll be 4th down as Scott Davis was putting the pressure on for the Raiders.
That's a terrific job in the secondary by the Raiders. The Seahawks ran a little bit of a pick play to the outside trying to get the underneath coverage, but Thomas Benson was right in the middle and he wasn't fooled. And as a result, Craig just had to throw the ball away.
So on 4th down, Rick Donnelly, with a 42.7-yard average coming into the game, will be kicking to Tim Brown. Ooh, good kick.
Can have some room to run.
Tim at the 37 and has dropped. Good special team coverage. 48 yards on the kick. 2-yard return. Terry Wooden with the tackle, and now we've got flags floating everywhere.
I knew that was going to happen. 30 years of age. 4 times he's been all-conference. Twice been to the Pro Bowl.
On the kicking team, number 24 will penalize 15 yards. 1st down.
And the penalty against the Seahawks. It's on Melvin Jenkins, number 24. And we've got a timeout. And the Raiders have the ball when we come back. Back will continue the Van McElroy story.
Well, I think this is a situation where he's doing kind of a Stephen Biko thing, crying freedom. He wants out of there, and he is certainly somebody that could start for a lot of teams in the National Football League at free safety.
Raiders ball at the Seattle 48. Greg Bell is now the running back. And he picks up 3 yards to the 45. It'll be 2nd down and 7 as Jeff Bryant makes the tackle. And when we talked to the Seattle defenders yesterday, to a man, they said the Raiders are a better offensive team when Marcus Allen is in there. Now, why is he out?
Well, Art told us that he wants to balance things up. Here we get a chance to see that they're going to go with the no-huddle offense here, trying to keep the Seahawks off balance.
And here's Steve Smith.
Well, getting back to your point, though, here they have all of these tailbacks. Obviously next week Bo is going to come in and they're not going to have enough footballs that everybody's complaining about. Art's comment to us was the fact that he wants those people to put their egos at the door and do what's best for the team. But what has made these tailbacks so good is the fact that they want the football. That's what's made them so good, and that's what's made them excel. And to limit them to 8 to 10 carries per game per person, I think is counterproductive.
3rd down and 2. Schrader again, lots of time. The pass over the middle is complete to Ethan Horton, and he was wide open. Jerry Wooden finally downs it.
Well, they had Tony Woods in coverage in that situation. One of the things that's really helping the Raiders here is because the tight end hasn't been an integral part of the offense. What they're going to get here is single coverage from the backers.
Flag down. Go ahead.
There's no foul on the play. Flag is picked up. 1st down.
Here you get a chance to see it. You'll see that it was Tony Woods who was actually in coverage, and he's a defensive lineman. He's farther back, and he had slipped on the play. That's now Ethan Horton's 3rd catch.
And the ball at the 27-yard line, 1st down. The Raiders dominating the ball game and leading 14-0. Schrader is 11 of 12 for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he gives off to Greg Bell.
Greg Bell has been somebody who's been very effective with different organizations, but for some reason becomes somewhat itinerant. He finds himself going a lot of different places. Here you get a chance to see that is the most in the NFL, 31 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons for Greg Bell. He also had a 1,000-yard season when he was rushing for Buffalo. And he has to ask himself the question, why is it that I keep getting traded around? Because I'd like to think I'm an effective player. Not only 31 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons, but he also rushed for over 2,300 yards. I mean, this guy's not a stiff. He's a player.
Schrader's pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, only the 2nd incompletion that he has had in the ballgame. When I talked to Jay yesterday, he said one of the reasons that I'm having a better year is I had and he showed me the scar on his left shoulder, an operation in the first part of February, and he had 2 holes in the rotator cuff that they fixed up, and he said, I feel so much better, I don't hurt, therefore you have a lot more confidence.
And another thing that I think has helped him, and he would admit to this as well, is the fact that Mike White has done an outstanding job with him and has done an outstanding job in the past with numerous quarterbacks.
3rd down and 7. On target, flags are down. The reception was made at the 9. And then Willie Gall fell back to the 11. We'll check out the flag. It will go against the Raiders.
Willie Gall is catching a lot of passes over the middle. This really surprises me. This has not been his forte in the past. He is doing an outstanding job in the short passing
Offense,
game.
number 60, 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 3rd down.
Holding on Rory Graves.
Well, that's not surprising because we knew coming into this game that he was going to have his hands full with Rufus Porter. Rufus might be one of the 2 or 3 best pass rushers right now in the league. He has terrorized teams over the last couple of weeks, particularly if you recall a Monday night game in Cincinnati. He and Boomer got into it, and Cincinnati was never the same after that as this guy went on a sack rampage.
When we asked Rufus, does he like to play the run, he said, if they run at me. I don't like it when they run away and then I got to chase them across the field.
Well, sure, he gets tired. He wants to save his energy for rushing the passer. Get those sacks, man. That's what makes the money.
3rd and 17. Complete to Horton, and Horton may have the 1st down. As the passing offense of the Raiders continues to beguile the Seahawks.
You know, that was a very strange situation there, Charlie. They had Rufus Porter in coverage on that time. Here you see that Rufus Porter is over Ethan Horton, and this is not his strong suit. His strong suit is rushing the passer. Man-for-man coverage, here he stumbles, and there's Ethan Horton wide open, making a good catch to adjust and come back and get the ball. And he shows a little of the shake and bake there that was once his trademark as a North Carolina running back.
And a 1st down at the 16-yard line. Raiders lead it 14-0. 6:49 and counting. Time remaining 2nd quarter. 1st half completely dominated by Los Angeles.
As you can see, the Raiders have had a lot of success with that sort of transition, running backs to tight ends. They did it with Billy Cannon, now they did it with Ethan Horton. And they did it with another guy from Brigham Young whose name escapes me.
And me also. Greg Bell is pulled down by Nesby Glasgow. Probably Larry Zonka, because Larry Zonka once got called for a personal foul when he was running with the ball.
Right, he did.
Which I always thought was one of the great calls of all time. He gave him the forearm shiver and they called him for a personal foul. 2nd down and 8 at the 14-yard line of Seattle. Schrader again with protection, and he throws this one away. Everybody was covered. He was reading right to left, and he was scanning all the receivers, and they were all covered, so he just threw it away. He ran out of time. It'll be third down as we go to New York. Thank you, Dick. One thing about the Steelers, once they found out how to score touchdowns, well, they don't want to stop.
That's kind of a drag. That's not a story anymore. The Steelers scoring a touchdown.
The Raiders 5 of 5 on third down conversions. This is 3rd and 8. And it is complete at the 6-yard line, and that should do it for the first down. Tim Brown rolls to the 5, and Jenkins and Robinson were there for Seattle.
People have been wondering about Tim Brown. You know, he had the major knee surgery last year and missed the entire season. And they're waiting for him to return to the productivity he had in his rookie season in 1988. He might have been their best wide receiver then. It's a tremendous catch. You know what else I like about this? I know this might not be terribly relevant. He's doing it barehanded. No gloves, no tackified gloves. He made that catch with his very own hands.
And a first down at the 5-yard line.
You want to drive Tim Brown crazy? Call him Senior Rocket. Call him Rocket Senior.
That is Greg Bell. And he's got a yard, maybe 2. They'll mark it at about the 3. It'll be second down and goal to go as Terry Wooden and Cortez Kennedy were there for Seattle. I think on Tim Brown, to finish that story, it'll probably be next year before he gets back to full productivity. It just seems to take that long, the rehabilitation of the knee, and then playing for a while on the knee, realizing that it is all right, it can take a hit.
Well, another thing, too, is that in 1988, when he was having all those yards, Mervin Fernandez had not hit stride. He was still trying to adjust from the Canadian game, and as a result, he got a lot more offensive plays than he's been getting this year because of the fact that Fernandez is playing so well.
Marcus is back in there, and the pass is complete to Ethan Horton. Now, what happened? The defense saw Marcus going out of the left flat, and they all went with him, and Horton was wide open.
Charlie, we mentioned a little while ago that Steve Ortmeyer had said that Ethan Horton might be the next Pro Bowl tight end for the Raiders, and it certainly looks like it today. He is having a field day with the Seattle secondary. Here you get a chance to see it's a play-action pass to the left of your screen. You'll see Horton take off. The man who's over him has him in coverage, but he's got to be thinking run first, and as a result, he takes that one step forward, and Horton's wide open. Look at the reaction of Schrader. Boy, oh boy, 3 touchdown passes. Those stats are piling up.
He may be the next Pro Bowl quarterback if he's playing like this. Here's the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And the Raiders are now out in front, 21-0.
Touchdown, you're going to get a chance to see Ethan Horton right here. This is the man that has him in coverage, Kallmeyer, but he's looking into the backfield right here. And as a result, Horton is going to take a bump, go to the corner. Kallmeyer is going to step up, and it's going to be too late. He turns around and goes, oops, 3rd touchdown.
And here comes Chris Warren as he returns to the 25-yard line. Ricky Hundley makes the tackle, and we've got a timeout. And the score, Raiders 21 and Seattle nothing.
And right here, he utilized a little bit of deception. Thomas Kallmeyer has him in coverage, but you can see that he's looking into the backfield. What happens is the play-action fake happens. Bump here by Horton. He goes to the corner, and he's going to turn around and come back, but it's way too late. Whoops. There he goes. Touchdown, Raiders.
I liked it better when you did it the first time without the pictures.
I guess I asked for that.
No. Seattle from their own 20. Greg swings it right side to John Allen. He is dropped at the 19-yard line. He's second down and 11 as Elvis Patterson made the play.
As I say, great play by Elvis Patterson. You know, Charlie, I talked with him yesterday as we get a chance to look at the scores finals there. Houston over Cincinnati, San Francisco in a real defensive slugfest.
And San Diego basically on the ground. They just ran over the Jets.
Yeah, they reasserted their running game in that one.
Detroit loses. Kansas City back on the winning track. New Orleans by 5. And Tampa Bay wins.
You know, Cleveland, Brian Wagner had another punt block. I think that's 3 in 2 weeks for him.
Oh, that can be fun. I said second and 11. It is second and 16. Comes up the sideline. And now let's go back and check the last panel of games. Giants leading Washington in a close one, Denver by 10, and Phoenix by 10.
You know, in that Giants-Washington game, ever since, it was interesting that ever since Joe Theismann broke his leg, the Giants have won 9 of 11 games since they've played. Washington wants to get off that schneid.
Is there a tie-in to that? How do you relate back to that for a reason?
I have no idea. I just thought I'd throw it out. One of those meaningless statistics. Why do I have to tie everything in?
I don't know. I just thought it would be nice if it was leading somewhere. 3rd and 4. Good protection. He goes deep, and the pass is complete far side. Yes. First big play that the Seahawks have made. 23 yards to Jeff Chadwick, and a first down, 2:18 and counting time remaining in the first half.
To say they needed that play is a vast understatement. Actually, Torin Dorn had some pretty good coverage on Chadwick, but he had his back turned. Here you'll see that Craig is a little bit indecisive. He's looking around, and there it is. He pumps, throws, and Dorn has his back to it. Chadwick's the only one who sees it. He jumps up, makes a nice catch.
And now the 2-minute warning will be given to both benches. It will be a first down for the Seattle Seahawks at the Raiders' 46-yard line when we come back. Raiders lead it 21-0. That is Bo Jackson. He has reported, as Dick Enberg told you on NFL Live. In fact, Art Shell said he thought about he'd come out on Thursday and maybe play a couple of downs in this game. He said, no way. Ron Heller on the receiving end. He goes out of bounds. Had no problem getting that story out, trying to get it in before the play.
Well, I know it was distracting to you because it looked to me like they have the same coiffure.
They do.
Bo and Howie Long, they have the same barber, it looks like.
And here's Magic Johnson, flew all night from Hawaii. And don't forget this year, the NBA on NBC, so you'll be seeing a lot of Urban, and hopefully we're going to get a chance to talk to him around the end of halftime. He's going to stay on the sideline, come to our vehicle. If we can set that up, we'll get a chance to talk to him about this upcoming NBA season. The ball at the 29-yard line, and it is first down after a gain of 17 on the last play. Craig throws, and it is incomplete. Jeff Chadwick, the intended receiver. Dorn had the coverage, and
27 years of age, but he's got a number of good years left in him.
And NFL Live at halftime, led by Dick Enberg, updating all the scores, the numbers, the stories behind the numbers, everything that's gone on today. And open at the 5-yard line is Jeff Chadwick, and it'll be first down and goal to go with 1:42 left to go in the first half. And so the Seahawks, trailing 21-0, are pasting together an 80-yard touchdown drive, a gain of 24 on that play. Gains of 23, 17, and 24 in the last 3 downs.
Well, this is a terrific throw right here. You see they have kind of an in-and-out coverage right here. Chadwick goes to the, and Eddie Anderson goes for the interception. Every time you do that, if you're not sure, you take the chance of giving up a big completion. That's a terrific throw by Craig in the seam of the zone.
First down and goal to go, 5-yard line.
They should not go to their 3 tight end offense right here, Charlie. They should stay spread out.
Craig rolls, pumps, throws, not down.
Charlie, the reason I'm saying that is because of the fact that you know that they're going to throw in this situation, because if they run, they're going to have to use up their timeouts. When you go to a 3 tight end, 85.
So it is second and goal at the 5. Craig drills a touchdown.
See the difference, Charlie? When you come with all those wide receivers, it spreads out the field.
Paul Scansey. And he has his first touchdown of the year.
And Dave Craig is patting everybody on the head saying, listen, this is only the first half. We have plenty of time. Right here you get a chance to see it. They get to use the entire end zone, and as a result, there's space. Right here he drills it right into that space. Scansey between the seams. Touchdown Seahawks.
And an 80-yard drive in 8 plays. And now Norm Johnson with the point after. And it is good. So the Seahawks are on the board. The score, the Raiders 21 and Seattle 7. And now with 1:31 time remaining in the first half. We'll be back with a kickoff in a moment. Live to the kickoff. It is high and it is short. And Ron Brown is the return man. He fumbles. Seattle has the ball at the 35-yard line. First turnover of the ball game.
Charlie, right there, that is the reason why the Rams gave up on Ron Brown. If you remember last year, a crucial Monday night game against the San Francisco 49ers, they're ahead 27-10. the 49ers started to come back, and sure enough, Ron Brown coughed up the kickoff that enabled the 49ers to have the victory. Here was a big shot right there, and he coughed the ball up again, and they're giving the Seahawks a chance to get right back
in the first half. And here is Ron Brown on the return. And he just stripped of the ball.
Yeah, he was. Ron Brown is third in the National Football League in kickoff returns, but right there, that's not going to help him any. Chadwick with a big recovery for the Seahawks.
And Brown is the injured player. The assumption is it's a left knee. We will wait on an official report. To bring you up to date on the injury we had earlier in the first half, it was on Tom Kallmeyer. He just got hit in the nose is what it was. He got a bloody nose, and he's all right. He's been back in the ball game. Forgot to give you that report. So now here's Seattle. Craig now 9 of 13, 92 yards and a touchdown. Lots of time remaining at the 35-yard line of the Raiders. And he's got 3 timeouts in his pocket. And he just dumps this off underneath to John L. Williams. It's just an L. I said, why John L? And he says, because that's the way Mother calls me, John L.
There's a precedent for that.
You bet.
J.D. Hill, when he was with the Buffalo Bills, his name was J.D., didn't stand for anything.
Tommy Kane on the receiving end. In fact, John L. said, you call my house, you ask for John. They want to know who you're talking about. The Raiders were a little late arriving with some substitution changes, so they take a timeout.
Lawson.
3rd down and 1. And here is Spinner. He's got the first down, and he is near the 20-yard line. He'll pick up 6. Terry McDaniel with the tackle.
Dave Craig. I was going to say, Dave.
Good idea.
It is. Make a couple of bucks.
Dollar here, dollar there. It all adds up. 50 seconds left in the first half. Good protection, but then it was knocked down. He had time.
Charlie, there's a real danger here in what they're doing. They're only rushing 3 in this situation. That's giving Craig plenty of time. I think they're thinking is that if they have 8 people in the secondary, that they're going to be able to cover all the gaps. But they've got to get a little bit better pass rush onto Craig, because here is somebody who knows how to pick him apart. In the past, Craig has had some excellent games against the Raiders.
McKell, I believe, the defender who got the hand on the ball. And it will be 2nd down and 10, a quarterback comparison. Whoops. A quick quarterback comparison. Here it is again.
Well, getting lost in the success of Schrader is the fact that look at Craig, 11 for 16, 101 yards and a touchdown. He hasn't been too shabby either.
No, he hasn't. Good defensive play by Torrendorn. Scansey, the intended receiver. And a flag is down. It is indicated a penalty against Seattle. Now they're flirting with field goal range.
Holding. Offense. Number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
That's on Ron Mattis.
One of the reasons they're
7-yard kick. Craig coming to the near side, sets, throws back, and it is incomplete. Tommy Kane, the intended receiver. He has been improving, but as Dave Craig told us yesterday, he can still get a lot. And he's a hometown boy.
Compton, California. Done a great job.
3rd and 20. Craig again with protection. Now he throws, has a man open. It's Kane, end zone. Touchdown, Tommy Kane.
That's exactly what happens when you're able to buy the time. This is one of those situations where Dave Adolph might regret the fact that he was only rushing with 3 people. The forte of the Raiders has been the sack. They're 2nd in the National Football League in sacks going into this game.
As Craig celebrates on videotape. And a pull within 7, and it is good. And so at the 2-minute warning of the first half, the Raiders were leading 21-0. Now that margin has been cut with still 24 seconds remaining to 7. And here the Seattle Seahawks with a record of 2-3, and the Raiders with a record of 4-1. How big a game for Seattle? Well, if Seattle wins the game, they pull within one game of the top spot in the West. If they lose it, they fall 3 back.
When we talked to the players yesterday, Charlie, they made the point that you don't have to be Fellini to figure out that this is a big game. It could be a major switch one way or the other.
Jamie Holland and Tim Brown back to receive.
Tim Brown and Jamie Holland are the return men. And Tim Brown watches it roll into the end zone. He'll take the touchback and bring it out to the 20-yard line.
That was a terrific kick by Norm Johnson. Normally, I'm not a fan of the squib kick, but he was able to get it over the front line. And as a result, if Tim Brown, that ball doesn't roll to the end zone, everybody's well aware of the fact that that's a free ball. First touchdown I ever scored in the National Football League was something like that. Chuck Muncie had dropped it in the end zone. I recovered it.
There was a flag dropped, or 2 flags dropped back downfield.
That was offsides against Seattle, Charlie, and it's evident by the fact that they refused it that they're content to run out the clock.
So the Raiders will have the ball at their own 20-yard line with 24 seconds still remaining. Within the last 2 minutes of either half, as you take a look at the scoring drive, within the last 2 minutes of either half on a kickoff, is the clock does not start until the ball has been touched in the field of play. And you're right, they'll just run out the clock. All they got to do is count. And that'll take us to halftime.
You know, you would think, Charlie, that if you could have told the fans when they came into the Coliseum that, hey, you're going to be up 21-14 at halftime, you'd have thought that they'd have cheered and been really excited about it. Now we hear a smattering of boos.
Turnover is the big story. That turnover led them back into the game because the difference between being up 21-7 or 21-14 is monumental, particularly for 2 teams whose emphasis upon ball control.
But you know, the situation with the Seattle Seahawks
They give us a lot of great coverage and having that big and strong. I stay way on the sideline. Ty can tell you that. But these are my boys here, the Raiders. Now I hope they go all the way.
All right, thanks so much. Appreciate you taking the time with us.
Thank you.
At their own 20-yard line, first down, and they trail by a score of 21-14. And here is Derek Finner. And he has 3 or 4 yards on the play. A final note on Magic. During the summer, I had a chance to go back in a charity in Indianapolis for Youth Links and also for Bird's game. And Magic was there. And after the basketball game was over on Sunday night, then Magic took over the PA microphone and an impromptu slam dunk contest. And everybody in the whole arena just had the greatest time of all. He has a smile and a personality that just lights up a room.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you know, he's got the X factor, some kind of charisma, and as we mentioned, a terrific ball player as well.
Second down, play action fake. Almost intercepted. Eddie Anderson went for the interception, couldn't pull it in. McNeil, the intended receiver.
You know, Jerry Robinson is doing a good job of staying at home. This misdirection, the counter boot, which has been so effective for the Seahawks over the last 3 games. Twice now they've run it, and twice it's been very well defended. Here you see Jerry Robinson waiting on Williams. He knows he's there. And Eddie Anderson coming up, almost able to pick the ball off. Good effort there, though, by number 33. Eddie Anderson, by the way, I should make a point. This is one of the tremendous physical specimens in the National Football League. Not only can he run the 40 in 4.32, he bench presses over 500 pounds.
Originally a 6th-round draft choice of Seattle, and he always gets up for this ball game.
The pride of Warner Robins, Georgia.
3rd down and 7.
Oh,
and
late
flag is down, yes.
Oh.
Chadwick for Seattle.
Interference. Defense, number 46, first down.
Interference on Torn Dorn and an automatic first down.
Does he arrive before the ball does? That's the question. What the official sees from the backside is he sees that back, his hand in the middle of the back of Chadwick. Right there it appears that, yes, he did. He got there a little too soon.
And a good call and a first down at the 30-yard line. Here's the draw to John L. And he's out to the 34.
He could have got a little bit more out of that if he'd have cut to the outside. He ended up running into the back of Edwin Bailey on that. If he'd have got to the outside, he'd had a big gainer. You'll get a chance to see it's misdirection. You see the see him pull out. Millard, rather, right here you'll see it. He runs right into his back. If he cuts to the outside instead of running into the back of Mattis, he might have a big gainer. As it is, still, though, they come up 2nd and 5.
Finner over the right side, and he'll go to the 38-yard line, so he has 4. It'll be 3rd down, and still a yard, maybe 2 to go for the first down. Let's check the Hertz 10-minute ticker. All of the scores. Houston big. 3rd down. John L., and he's going to pick up the first down as he stretches out to the 44-yard line.
Flag is down. I think they're going to get Harden for a face mask. That was a terrific forearm by John L. Williams, and really that forearm is what enabled him to get the first down. I had to laugh. You know, they go to the 4 wide receiver situation. I remember distinctly when football used to be a running down 3rd and 2. Now everybody goes to the wide receivers, and as a result,
we have tripping on the defense, number 45, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, now that's strange. I don't understand that. I thought you did anything you could to bring the guy down. In this case, he gets his legs tangled up with his and trying to pull him down. That's a strange call. Of course you're going to get your legs involved. Right here, terrific forearm right here by John L. right to the face of Harden. And here you'll get a chance to see it. He pulls him down, and where's that right leg?
Right there.
It spins around, and sure, it trips him a little bit.
I agree with you.
That was part of the inertia.
I agree.
Should have let that one go. Let's take the 10.
The ball now at the 46-yard line. The Raiders a swing out to John L. Good move by John L. as he loses the first would-be tackler. That was Tom Benson, and then picked up 3 or 4 more yards. Let's go back to the
Hurricane game was going to be too terribly high scoring.
And here the Raiders lead Seattle by a score of 21-14 with 11.5 minutes to go in the 3rd. And we've got a timeout. And we'll be back to the Coliseum in Los Angeles in just the Raiders' 44-yard line. And thus far, Brian Blades has been shut out of the offense for Seattle. As Craig said, he's got to get used to double coverage, and they haven't been going to him. Here's the far side, and John L. Williams, again, losing a would-be tackler, passes 2 more. And John L. has his 7th reception of the ball game before Ricky Ellison makes the tackle, and he picks up 23 yards on the play.
Charlie, John L. Williams has always been a thorn in the side of the Raiders in the passing game. He has that ability to make people miss, and it isn't because he's so flashy. Here you get a chance to see it. He's out in the flat. He stumbles a little bit, stiff arms Harden out of the way, and right here has some pretty sweet feet as he goes back past Eddie Anderson. But really a lot of that is just lousy tackling.
We asked him about the Florida State game, and he said, as long as it's Florida.
But he wasn't too happy last night because they got spanked by Auburn.
First down at the 21, and Derek Finner gets the call.
Tennessee.
Now let's go to New York City in NFL. And what in the world is happening to the magic of Mile High Stadium? You were talking about that in the first half.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they're getting very human now.
2nd and 9. Craig looks right, throws, pass is complete. And this is Finner, his 2nd reception of the ball game, and he is stopped by Terry McDaniel, but not before he picks up the first down.
Charlie, at the outset, you mentioned the fact that the Raiders play 50% man, probably the most in the National Football League. They have been getting burned in their zones. Right here, you'll see that Fenner has gone in motion. Craig looks left and comes back right. Watch how wide open Fenner is. It's a zone cover. There's nobody on him, and that's just too much of a gap. He makes it all the way down to the 6-yard line, and certainly you got to have a man on Fenner.
In the last 3 games, Dave Craig has completed 73% of his passes. Today, 15 of 22, 171 yards and 2 touchdowns already. Finner comes inside and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's just about going to be it. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go as Bob Golick makes the stop.
Charlie, once again, I don't understand why they're going to this 3 tight end offense. They did the exact same thing on their first drive, got stuffed. They went to the 4 wide receiver package and were able to open things up. As we see now, that's exactly what they're going to do. And I don't understand why they didn't learn from the first half.
And it is 2nd down, goal to go at the 6. Tommy Kane and Paul Scansey have scored the 2 previous touchdowns for Seattle. Little play action fake that nobody pays a fumble. And the Raiders may have it. They do. Bill Pickel.
Charlie, we mentioned Greg Townsend. Greg is the one that made that play. Greg Townsend, in my mind, is absolutely the best football player in the league that has never been to the Pro Bowl. Once again, the Seahawks go to the misdirection thinking that third time is a charm, but it was not. Greg Townsend with a big play. Here you'll see it. The play fake, John. They're trying to get Townsend out. He wasn't fooled. Right here, big hit, and he strips the ball going down. Terrific play there by Townsend, because otherwise, if he doesn't use his left hand and getting the ball out, it's just going to be a sack. Watch his left hand come around right there and tip it out before he gets on the ground. Pickel right there for the recovery for the Raiders.
And the Raiders first down at their own 15-yard line. And Marcus Allen is the ball carrier. Fumble just a little bit, still manages to pick up a couple of yards, maybe 3 on the play. Joe Nash makes the top.
Charlie, I know that it's easy to sit up here in the booth and second guess, which is what we're paid for, right?
Oh, it's fun, though.
Okay. But, you know, when you have the momentum, turn back your way. Don't just run into the middle of the field. This would have been a great time for a play-action fake or to go up top, which is something the Raiders have yet to do today. They haven't gone deep, and, of course, that is their reputation.
Well, I do agree with you what Dave Craig ended up. He doesn't call the plays, as you know. But in that close to play-action fake, everybody's going to go for the quarterback anyway. You're not going to take to the fake.
No, you're absolutely right. But still, you know, you got to give them something to think about, and so far the Raiders have yet to go deep today.
And here is Steve Smith. He's got 3. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Rufus Porter makes the tackle.
This is a little bit too conservative of approach here, because if they're forced to punt down here, the Seahawks get it back near midfield. They really need a first down here, which surprises me because of the fact that they were throwing so effectively in the first half. Now all of a sudden they become a ground attack.
3rd down and 5. Tim Brown, Mervyn Fernandez, and Willie Gault, the wide receiver.
Trying to shout something.
Horton is the tight end on the left side. And almost an option. And it's going to come up short. Marcus Allen on the pitch. But Schrader took a couple of steps for a Raider option.
Yeah, the idea was right. I've never seen him run that before either.
Of course,
you know, the Kenny Stablers and the Jim Plunkett's and some of these other quarterbacks in the past weren't exactly running phenoms. And so right here, they're trying to surprise them, but the Seahawks weren't necessarily fooled. He pitches out here. Green makes the force. Good support there by Kallmeyer and then Hunter to come over and make the play short of the first down.
And Jeff Gossett's first punt of the ball game, and Chris Warren is the return man for Seattle.
That statistic right there, 37.5, is last in the National Football League, but his inside the 20s is second in the league.
There's pressure, and he gets it off. Fair catch is called for and taken at the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. So with 6 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, a 44-yard kick. And we'll take a timeout. Raiders lead by 7.
Are one of the reasons why last year he had his 18 fumbles, which was an NFL record.
First down, Seattle at their own 33-yard line. Raiders lead it 21-14. Craig drops this one off right side, and the pass is complete to Travis McNeil, and he is wrapped up by Mike Harden.
Dave Craig forced to throw off his back foot in that situation. The Raiders seem to be getting their path.
So far in the ball game, 9 rushes for 34 yards. Now quickly stepping up to the huddle. And the quick out pattern, because it was there, and it's Scansey as the Raiders defense was slow reacting.
That's really a heads-up play by Craig to see that. He goes out there and sees that nobody is out there on Scansey, and they caught them in the middle of a defensive shift. Actually, that shows a lot of discipline on the part of the offensive line, too, because anybody can move and isn't aware when he's going to get the ball. The quarterback will come under the center and just hit the butt of the center to get the ball. Right here, they got to be set. And right there, if you take a look, the right guard, Millard, in that case, was not, but the referee didn't see it, so it's a good play for the Seahawks.
And it goes for 22 yards and a first down at the Raiders' 40-yard line.
That's a clutch statistic right there. More than half of your catches come on 3rd down. Of course, then again, most of Scansey's playing time comes on 3rd down.
That's right. Derek Fenner, a step, maybe 2. That's about it. Golick and Townsend shut him down. What the Raiders have done very effectively, they have taken Derek Fenner completely out of the offense. Now here's a man who has scored coming into this game 8 touchdowns, leads the NFL in that category. He's rushed for 322 yards and has had a tremendous, particularly the last 3 ball games, and they've just taken him out.
Well, again, that's one of the reasons why the Raiders are second in the AFC in total defense.
Second and 8. And here is John L. And he's got a first down at the 25-yard line. So he picks up 13 yards and the first down.
One of the things you do when you go to the nickel defense is you give up some run support. Right there's only one person in the middle, and that's Jerry Robinson. He's getting blocked right there by Millard. Williams able to find the hole and a big first down for the Seahawks.
And speaking of number 71, Brian Millard, the right guard of Seattle, we talked to him yesterday. He said, I spend the game beating up on the center, Grant Fiesel. And we'll tell you that story after this play. Double slot on the left side. And here is John L. And he's going to have a couple of yards to the 23. It'll be second down and 8. Millard said, if you look at the right side of Grant Fiesel, he said, I've compound fracture of his thumb. I've broken the little finger and the ring finger. I've scarred up the whole right arm. He said, I'm constantly running into the man.
Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that in specific pass rushes, they only have a nose guard, and so sometimes the guard has nothing to do. So what Millard will do is he'll come off and help Fiesel. Instead of hitting the defender, he ends up hitting him on the elbow or the hand, hence the reason why Fiesel gets so beat up.
Second down and 7. Kane is in motion. And John L. carries. Golick makes the tackle. And the Hurts 10-minute ticker.
The Steel City.
Third down and 3 at the 18-yard line. And Craig goes to the shotgun.
Once again, the 3-man rush. A lot of time.
The pass is complete, but it is going to be short of the first down. Tommy Kane is the man who pulled it in, and he was wrapped up immediately by Lionel Washington, and it's going to be a yard short.
You know, if the side judge would have given him a little bit more generous spot, he might have had the first down. It appeared that he had his feet on the line, but when he came forward to make the catch, that took the first down away.
So 4th down and 1, and Norm Johnson is in with a field goal attempt.
See where his feet right there were on the line, but then he gets pushed forward, and so that's at the discretion of the side judge, and he decided that he didn't get there far enough.
And a 33-yard attempt. Fiesel to snap, Kemp to hold, Norm Johnson the kicker. And it is good from 33 yards away, and so the Seahawks pull ever closer. It's now Raiders 21, Seattle 17. Norm Johnson kicking off. Ron Brown is all right. He's back in the ballgame. Jamie Holland is also back with him. And this is Holland on the return. He goes, the defender, who is Joe Kane, goes right by Ron Brown and brings down Jamie Holland. We've got a timeout on the field. 1:25 is the time remaining. We're in the third quarter, and the Raiders lead it 21-7. Baby.
Well, you know, Al Davis a month ago on NFL Live said that no team ever makes it to the Super Bowl with a tailback-oriented offense. Well, obviously, I don't know about his memory, but a guy named Riggins, a guy named Joe Morris, and a guy named Peyton won some Super Bowls. There you got a chance to see that the Raiders, unlike the league average, it's 60-40 run to pass, except for today, which has a very nice balance.
First down Raiders. Schrader back, throws, pass is complete. And he goes to Marcus Allen, and it's going to be close to the first down. I believe he's got it. Yes, he does.
That was a terrific catch by Marcus. He wasn't even expecting the ball. He was like the third receiver in the pattern, but Schrader looks to the left and nobody's open. He goes back to Marcus, and Marcus makes a very nice adjustment near the sidelines.
Coming into this game, Marcus rushing and receiving is more than 11,000 yards. When you total it all up, he has rushed or he has caught passes for more than 6.5 miles.
Wow, I can't even run that far. He's something special. They're a much better team, and to a man, the defender said that they're much more frightened when Marcus is in the game.
Schrader goes deep, incomplete. Fernandez changed gears past the defender, still could not quite get to it. Harper and Glasgow had double coverage on it.
You know, Art told us yesterday, Charlie, the fact that they are going to go up. You know, I kept commenting to the fact, I said, man, your offense isn't real exciting. He says, well, we'll get our chances. And sure enough, he takes it right here. And a lot of times what happens is that even though the play is not complete, in this case you see a tremendous effort, almost one-handing that ball, it makes the defense think. They know it's in the arsenal.
Fernandez has 11 100-yard games out of 44 NFL games, so 25% of his games in the National Football League, he has more than 100 yards receiving. He has 47 yards in this game. And Schrader picks up about 3 yards on the scramble. Joe Nash is there to cover him. Nash told us he turned 30 recently. He says, but I don't feel 30.
You know, I don't even know what that means anymore.
Well, Dennis told me, he said, if you can wear a watch or a belt and your body is not in jeopardy, it's not a sport. Into the third quarter. And Raiders on top of the Seattle Seahawks 21-17. They have a 3rd and 7 at the 33-yard line in their own territory, and they have 3 wide receivers as Tim Brown is in. And the pass is incomplete to Tim Brown. Right now, let's go to New York. And
17. Back to Los Angeles.
Jeff Gossett kicking. Chris Warren is the return man. He's going to stay away from it.
So,
and weird things are happening at Mile High Stadium, aren't they?
You're about to say it
Is there
doesn't
a
happen
full
there
moon?
anymore? Sure it does.
Yeah. Look outside. 49 yards on the kick. And Seattle will move on offense. Now, since 4 minutes and 13 seconds, time remaining in the second.
In their offensive line and in some of their play calling. And I think, too, that the Raider offensive play calling has been a little bit conservative here in the second half.
Seattle from their own 18-yard line, first down. Craig looks left, throws back right to Finner. The Allen in. And he loses the football. He's going to be down, though. The official on the near side is saying that he was down.
He threw the little blue thing in there. I think that indicates
where
the ball is.
Well, then that means that the ball was loose.
Looked to me like he was down as well.
I thought he was pointing that the play was down. No, you're right. He was throwing the little beanbag in to mark the spot of the turnover.
Charlie, I had a hunch today that we were going to go through the entire game without a replay, but I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to have to replay this as to whether or not Fenner was down.
Eddie Anderson comes up with it. We'll take another look.
Nice spin move right here. He evades 2 people. Still moving right here. He cuts inside. Is his knee down before the ball goes out? No, it isn't.
No.
Good call by the official. The ball is loose.
And the Raiders have the ball at the Seattle 23-yard line, first down. It was a fumble. It was recovered by the Raiders. Raider, a play-action fake. Now he is chased out of the pocket, and he is sacked at the 32-yard line by Jeff Bryant.
Charlie, they're trying to get right from the get-go. They're going to try to get in the end zone. A big play right off the bat to Willie Galt. Willie Galt was running what's called a flag pattern deep in the end zone, running clear across the field, but the Seahawks were in his zone and they had it covered. Jeff Bryant, part of that group there, part of that old group there on the offensive line, was able to come in and get the sack.
And we asked Joe Nash about being part of that old group, and he said, you know, the media gets on us, but we don't feel that old. So we feel that we can still handle it.
Well, once again, 30 is that level in football. They say that once you hit 30, bad things happen, but I don't think so. Look at Marcus Allen. He's 30.
It is young. Okay. Trust me, it is young. 2nd and 18. Schrader has pressure, throws, passes completed the 15-yard line.
A couple of weeks ago, Charlie, on NBC, we had the Isuzu Challenge. And that was when the quarterback Isuzu Challenge, and Jay Schrader was the one that threw it 76 yards farther than anybody. Here Fernandez makes a good move, but once again, it's a zone coverage. He cuts to the middle, and Robinson doesn't make the adjustment. What you don't get a chance to see here is Jay Schrader is backpedaling, throws off his back foot across his body to get that throw some 20 yards downfield. That was a terrific throw by Jay Schrader.
Schrader now 16 of 21, 194 yards. That last play covered 16. It's a first down at the 50. And here is Steve Smith. And the first down. I'm sorry, I said it was a first down. It was third down and short.
Big first down now. Now they're able to get the crowd back into the game.
They'll mark it outside the 12-yard line. And so the 2 fumbles by the Seattle Seahawks have been costly. One of them cost them a scoring opportunity, and the second one giving the Raiders a scoring opportunity. It's not the number of turnovers, it's where they happen. And here's Marcus Allen. And he goes to the 9-yard line. He has 3. It'll be second down and 7. Tony Woods and Eugene Robinson on the tackle.
I find it a little bit interesting here that Marcus Allen would be in the 4th quarter. It just goes to show that maybe they're listening. You know, Greg Bell's carries and his playing time has been limited. We're getting into crunch time, and evidently the Raiders want Marcus Allen on the field.
The Seahawks, by the way, are the last team to defeat the Raiders here in the Coliseum. October the 1st a year ago, 24-20, 2 days before Art Shell was hired as the head coach. Second 7, a double tight end set. And here is Smith. 5-yard line. It's going to be third down and still a couple to go for the first down.
This will be an interesting decision here on the 5-yard line. Do you go to your 3 tight end set? Do you spread them out a little bit? Do you stay with the 2 tight ends? Regular set, what are you going to do here? And it appears that they're going to stay with the 2 tight end.
We also report on Greg Bell. He has a sprained right ankle.
Okay. Terry Robisky, the man to the right, to the left on your screen of Art Shell. This is his first full year in calling the plays. And people have criticized him a little bit for being a little bit too conservative, but I think he's done an outstanding job today in mixing up both run and pass.
Marcus in motion. Looking to Marcus. And Schrader's going to have to run out with it at the 5.
They're going to call a penalty on Wooden. Wooden hit him a little ways out of bounds. And I don't know what his thinking was on that, because Wooden actually made a good play in hustling up and keeping him from getting the first down. But there is
no foul. 4th down.
I agree with that.
Overruled.
I agree with that.
You didn't think he was out of bounds when he got hit?
No, I just don't think at this part that it's bad enough for it to be a foul. Right there. See, he's right on the edge. I think that's fine.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Looked to me like he was a little ways out of bounds.
Well, he was a step out of bounds, but he had committed himself. I just don't think that it was, and it wasn't a vicious type of hit, and it could be a penalty that could turn a ball game around. I don't think the officials should control a ball game. I think the players should.
Now we got kind of a miniature drama going, because it appears that the Raiders are going to go for it here instead of kick a field goal. The time is out on the field. Got to think about this one.
4th down and a yard, maybe a yard and a half actually. You're up 21-17. Do you kick a field goal or not? We'll find out when we come back. The Raiders will go with a field goal attempt. I agree with this. Here's the kicking battery.
And you're probably right here. You want to go up 10. You want to go up by a touchdown with 10:34 left in the game. You're right. This is a good decision.
From 22 yards away, Jager hits. And the margin goes back to 7, 24-17. 10:31 time remaining in the game as Jager will be kicking off to either Derek Lavelle or Chris Warren. And here is Lavelle. Hit at the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Ron Brown makes the tackle.
I guess his knee is okay. That was a pretty good hit by Ron Brown. You don't usually think of speedsters like that making hits.
Dave Craig, he is 19 of 26, 206 yards. He has thrown for 2 touchdowns.
Charlie, since the first Chicago game when they finally abandoned that run and shoot, Dave Craig, after the first game of the season, is going at a 75% clip. There you see that over his 10-year career, he has established himself as one of the premier quarterbacks, despite the fact that I think playing in Seattle, he doesn't necessarily get the recognition he deserves.
First down from the 23. He's trying to throw it away, and he throws an interception. No, they're going to say it is incomplete.
You know, if you're going to throw the ball away, that was almost a curse right there. We're talking about what a great quarterback he is. If you're going to throw the ball away, throw it hard. Dave Craig just lobs this ball in the area, and this is something that Lionel Washington is driving himself crazy. Look at the smiley on his face. Boy, did I get away with one. Watch this. Instead of just drilling the ball, he's going to throw it away. He just lobs it over there, right there for the catch. Oh, man. What? Lionel has certainly cursed himself on that one. Right there. That's a gimme right there. Gimme interception. He couldn't come up with it.
So it is 2nd down and 10. A break for the Seahawks. And here's John L. Williams. And he is out to the 33-yard line. May have the first down. So let's check the 10 minutes.
Schemata.
Schemata,
I like that.
I do like that.
Thought you would.
Finner now in motion. Craig goes deep to Finner, and he's got it. He has got it at the 17-yard line. Second time in the ball game that he's made a great reception. He picks up 50 yards on the play. So the Raiders take him out of the rushing offense, but he has 2 big receptions.
Well, now this is, give Craig a lot of credit here. This is a terrific job, and he lays it out there. But Eddie Anderson right here has it. Now look, Eddie, look. And he doesn't look. It goes right over his left shoulder. All he has to do is turn around, and he's right there to bat the pass down. But that's what happens. A free safety is not a cover guy. He comes over here, right here, and he's looking right at Fenner. As soon as Fenner's looking, he turns around. But look, right over his left shoulder. Eddie Anderson certainly could have broken up the play. All he had to do was turn.
2 spectacular receptions, 2 others for a total of 4 and 78 yards. John L. Swift makes the cut, comes back. He's going to lose about half a yard, maybe a yard. Bob Golick is there to cover him.
Eddie Anderson did a great job of getting over there, showing a lot of speed. But they always teach as a defensive back, once you see that guy's eyes dilate, you've got to look back too.
Loss of a yard back to the 18, so it is 2nd down and 11. Raiders lead it 24-17 with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left in the ball game. Finner is in motion. Craig scrambles, and he throws to Finner on the left side, and he's at the 12-yard line. So he's going to pick up about 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 5. Lionel Washington with the tackle.
Once again, the Raiders' inability to get to the quarterback. The secondary did a good job. Thomas Benson went out in the zone coverage, and they had people covered in the secondary. But Craig shows that he is nimble, that he's got some sweet feet of his own. He steps up here, and then when he steps up, Benson has to come up in case Craig runs, and as a result, he comes off a Fenner, and he's able to make the completion.
Third down and 5 at the 12. Trailing by 7, the Seahawks could well be within 4-down range. Incomplete. Now, do you go for the field goal or do you go for the first down?
You got to kick the field goal here. 7 minutes and 17 seconds left. There's plenty of time for their defense to stop the Raiders and get the ball back. But what you do have to do is make the field goal here. And Norm Johnson over the last 3 games has struggled. Last year he was 60%, and this year going into this game he was 6 for 10. But he's had 3 game winners that could have been game winners this year that fell to the side. And so he's struggled with his confidence a little bit here in 1990.
A 30-yard field goal attempt. Fiesel is the snapper. Kemp is the holder. And it is no good. It is no good. The trials and tribulations of Norm Johnson continue. We'll be back in a moment. Gene?
Well,
And this is Willie Gault.
You know, Charlie, you got to figure that here's somebody who doesn't spend all his time just playing football. We talked about bobsledding, but here on the cover of Cablevision, you get a chance to see Jamie Lee Curtis behind him. And you know what I think he's doing? He's either trying to help her with a hurdle or stretch, or because of the fact that Blue Steel didn't do too well, he's trying to get her a leg up.
Oh, no. You mean I held up that photo for that statement?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't believe
resist.
I know you can't, but you should learn to resist.
But now, wait a second.
What?
You didn't write that one?
No.
Oh, I wrote it.
No, you wrote
it. Okay.
First down Raiders.
But he had to take it off to give it to Jamie Lee. Right?
You're right.
Okay.
Prater to throw on first down. And he drops it off to Fernandez, who's having an outstanding game. Patrick Hunter makes the tackle. And now let's check the 10-minute ticker.
Talking about him with his shirt off, showing what a stud bolt he is. Once again, you got to respect Willie Gault's speed.
Giants now have stretched the margin. Pittsburgh leading Denver by 10 and Phoenix by 10.
If Denver were to lose this game, they would fall to 2-4, and they would be with San Diego in the cellar of the AFC West.
That in itself is a major story.
Yes, it is. In fairness to the Broncos, they've had a lot of injuries over the last 3 weeks.
First down Los Angeles at their own 41-yard line. 5:15 time remaining in the ball game as Marcus Allen carries. And Marcus goes to the 45-yard line, gain of 4, so it's 2nd down and 6 as Cortez Kennedy, the #1 draft choice from Miami, is the man who makes the stop.
It's a nice cut back by Marcus.
Kick off your night on NBC and play McMillions. You could win at least $1 million when you watch the new drama series Hull High. And then on the critically acclaimed new series Life Stories, meet 4 people looking for surgical solutions, plastic surgery. The story on all new Life Stories, followed by the NBC world premiere movie A Quiet Little Neighborhood, A Perfect Little Murder. All tonight on NBC. Steve Smith is the ball carrier, and now the Raiders are working on the clock. 4:26 and counting. Time remaining as Joe Nash and Rufus Porter make the stop.
You know, one of the things that's been overlooked here with the Los Angeles Raiders is the great job the offensive line has done in the first 5 games of the season. Don Mosbar is a former Pro Bowler, as is Max Montoya, who has come to solidify that line. They really believe that Steve Wisniewski is a future Pro Bowler, and Steve Wright has stepped in admirably for the injury to their starter Wilkerson. And Rory Graves, you know, he's done a good job on Porter today. We haven't called his name too much.
3rd down and 2. Crucial play for the Raiders. They have the first down. Wide open is Willie Gault, and the clock will continue to move. 36-yard line. Melvin Jenkins wasn't even in the neighborhood.
Hey, you know, this is why we showed Willie Gault in the picture. This guy is really having a terrific game, and having the kind of game that is a precursor for Willie to be successful in this league. Up to this point, he has been one-dimensional, somebody that you talk about, just a speed guy. But right here, he's starting to be a little bit more physical, make the clutch catches on 3rd down here as the Seahawks take a chance and go to single coverage. They're going to get burned by people like Willie Gault and Mervin Fernandez if they go to single too often.
And Willie, 5 receptions, 73 yards, and a first down at the 36-yard line of Seattle. And 3:07 and counting time remaining. Prater now 19 of 24, 235 yards. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. And he gives here to Marcus Allen. And Allen will pick up about 4.
Once again, the right side of that offensive line. Give some credit to both Montoya and Steve Wright as they open up a hole. Seattle takes the timeout because they see what's happening here.
And yesterday when we talked with Max Montoya, he was really smiling. He enjoys being here, and he enjoys also playing for our show. We've got a timeout, and we'll be back to the Coliseum in just a moment. 51 seconds time remaining here in the Coliseum. This is Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen. The Raiders have the ball and the lead of 7 points, 24-17. Seattle with only 1 timeout remaining. The Raiders have 2. Marcus Allen, 41 yards rushing, 12 carries. Tom Catlin, the bearded one. I still think he looks like Santa Claus.
And I think he looks like Uncle Fester.
I've never met Uncle Fester. Oh, you mean that Uncle Fester? I thought it was your Uncle Fester. All right. Fake to Marcus. Going back on this side to Ethan Horton. And it'll be 3rd down and 7.
That's strange. If you'd have given the ball to Marcus, they'd have had a big gainer. Tony Woods did a good job of staying at home and breaking the play up.
Quick thanks to Dennis Mnuchin, our statistician, the man of the numbers. Ron Lux and Chuck Panama, our trusty spotters here always at the Coliseum. Thank you, gentlemen.
Tony Woods was a 1st-round pick out of Pittsburgh, who originally had slated at outside linebacker, but he, how shall I say it, outgrew the position, went to about 265, and they decided to put him down at defensive end.
3rd and 7.
Let's
Marcus in the block, and it is incomplete. Patrick Hunter was chasing it down. In reality, Schrader was just throwing it away.
Now here's an interesting decision here. The Raiders opt not to go for the field goal. You're talking about a 50-yarder and 51-yarder rather, and I think the reason here is because of the fact that, you know, if they go for the field goal here, this is where it can get blocked. Inevitably, the low trajectory of the kicks at a longer distance are easier to block. So rather than take the chance, Art is saying to himself, let's pin him inside the 20. I've got the punter who's 2nd in the NFL in kicks inside the 20, and make them drive the length of the field with just a little more than 2.5 minutes left to go.
Also, if he misses the field goal and it's not blocked, Seattle still gets it at the 33-yard line, the line of scrimmage. So pin him back and make him go for 7 in the tie as he goes for the corner. No, he does not get it. Touchback. Bring it out to the 20. We've got a timeout with 2:35 left to go. We'll be back. 35 left to go. Seattle trails by 7. Seattle has the ball at their own 20. They play now for the tie and overtime. They say no. Tommy Kane did not get both feet in bounds.
Again, the strategy is interesting here. The Raiders have a lot of confidence in their secondary. They continue to only rush 3 people. Here we see he gets the 1 foot down, and look at that. He's still trying to get the ball into his chest. Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Looked awfully
It looked
close.
as if he was dragging the toe. Again, the camera angle. Yes, he says, I was dragging the toe. Didn't you see that? I wonder if they will review it.
Yep.
Yes, they're going to review it. So that gives us a chance to take another look at it.
Hear the funny whistle.
Yes.
Now you see what Chuck Knox is doing. He wants to make sure that in the review, when they come back out onto the field, that they have 25 seconds on the time clock. Here you get a chance to see catch, left foot. Where does the right foot go? Clearly in bounds. Does he have it?
If he's dragging it, you know, the question is, let's look at it one more time. You call possession, and I'll call when I think the drag hits.
Okay.
See if he was juggling it or not. They're reviewing it there.
Once again, be cognizant of the fact that the 2-minute situation is from the time that they get the relay up in the booth. A lot of times it seems like it's too long.
Call when you got it. 1 foot.
Got it.
Second. Yeah. I think they got to call it a complete pass from that angle.
A lot of what he's debating about is whether or not the right toe actually drug.
Yeah.
He might be thinking the fact that the toe never did drag, that it was above the grass.
Well, if it was above the grass, then the official makes a correct call.
That's right.
Now we have this angle, which you cannot. Let's see. Well,
there's the left foot. Where's the right foot?
Let's see. Maybe a little more. Can we see that?
And look right there. It hits the ground. Yes, it did. The right foot did hit the ground there, right in front of the 28-yard line.
Now there's a 2-minute time limit.
It's called incompletion. 2nd down.
He said it's not conclusive enough to overrule it.
Thank you.
Jeez.
No, I'm sorry. I really couldn't
I'll take leg up over that any day.
I couldn't resist it. I just couldn't resist it. All right, it's 2nd down and 10 at the 20. Craig throws. It is incomplete. It will be 3rd down at the 20, and we have 2 minutes and 24 seconds remaining.
That was good pressure there by Aaron Wallace, trying to flush Craig out of the pocket. He throws it off the back foot, and once again, it's incomplete, kind of sidearm. Aaron Wallace is somebody that I was reading a quote by Howie Long saying that Aaron Wallace is just getting by on his raw skill. He doesn't have any technique yet. He's not exactly sure what he's doing, but he knows how to get to the passer. The man had 5 sacks in the preseason, and he had 3 in one game here recently. Versus the Steelers, I believe.
3rd and 10. It is a 1st down. It is Jeff Chadwick with still another big play. Chadwick has been making them 1 per game at least. He picks up 32 yards. That is a 3rd and 10 conversion. 48-yard line of the Raiders. 1st down. 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Craig is pulled down. Townsend got a fistful of jerseys.
That is some amazing hand strength, Charlie. It looked to me like Mattis did a terrific job of keeping him to the outside. But Townsend is able to get the hand in there. This is where the tackified gloves pay off. Look at him coming upfield. That's a pretty good angle. Mattis has him there. Look how strong with the right hand, pulling him down by the jersey. Greg Townsend, big play.
2nd and 17.
2nd sack for Townsend today.
at the Seattle 45. Incomplete, just a little high, but catchable. Kane should have had it.
Once again, Craig's mobility makes that play happen, and that's got to be frustrating for him.
We've got a timeout, and we'll be back in a moment. Raiders lead by 7. Seattle at another crossroads. 3rd and 17. 1:55 remaining. And they trail by 7.
I would anticipate they're going to stay with their 3-man rush here and not take too many chances. But Craig has done a good job of finding the seams in the zone in the secondary, so we'll see what happens.
Buying time. Incomplete. Tommy Kane, the intended receiver. 4th and 7 to a 35. 294. 2 touchdowns. Ricky Hundley leading the cheer. 6 in the secondary. Seahawks need 17. No. They're going to rule that he does not come down with both feet inbounds. Brian Blades, who has been shut out in the game, and he was right at the first down marker.
He's got to be a little bit frustrated, but I think, Charlie, even if he comes up with the ball, it's a little bit short. Brian Blades had 77 catches for over 1,000 yards and was a Pro Bowl performer last year. So far this season, he's only caught 11. Right there, you see the right foot is right on the line. It's a good call by the officials to be right on top of it. It goes over. Getting back to that, though, we were talking to the people that said Brian Blades now has to be able to beat double coverage because teams coming into the game want to take Brian Blades out. He said it took Largent a while to adjust to the double coverage, and the same thing is happening to Brian Blades.
And so the Raiders take over on downs at the Seattle 45-yard line with 1:38 remaining. And the Seahawks have only 1 timeout remaining. With Marcus Allen and Steve Smith in the backfield. And now they're going to go back and take another look at the reception of Brian Blades.
I don't think there's that much debate.
After further review, play stands as called. Incomplete pass.
Watch the right
First
foot.
down.
Where's the right foot? It's on the line right there. It's out of bounds.
It's on the white.
On the white.
But not by much.
Chalk.
Not by much, but it still counts.
Brian Blades, one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league. He's put some hits on people. Good all-around player, but right now he's got to be frustrated.
And Steve Smith carries over the right side, and now they'll be content to run out the clock. The Seahawks will take their last timeout. This reminder, this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Raiders and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the NFL, Seahawks, and Los Angeles Raiders, all rights reserved. And this man, Art Shell, to a man, when we talked to the Raiders yesterday, all talked about Art Shell, and and you may have heard the story, and that is the fact that there were, you of course know it, that a fight broke out during practice or during preseason on the practice field, and he let them go at each other for a while, and then he stepped in and says, break it up. They didn't break it up. He stepped between them. He pulled them apart. He said, when guys say break it up, you break it up, or
you're going to take me on pads or not in pads. And when Ricky Ellison was recounting the story to us, he says, somehow I don't see Bill Walsh or George Seifert doing that. And I said, you're right. Art Shell has a commanding aura with his players. The fact that he has been in the league 15 years, 8 as an All-Pro, a former Hall of Famer, that in and of itself speaks volumes. Art Shell is in control of this organization right now. It appears that they're going to go 10-0 at home under Art Shell.
And now just letting the clock move, taking the countdown. A chance to check the ticker for the late scores. Giants leading in the 4th. Pittsburgh is leading in the 4th. And Phoenix is leading in the 4th. So we'll take a look right at the end of the ball game at the standings in the West, and what it's going to show. The Raiders will have a 5-1 record, and then Kansas City is going to be behind them at 4-2, and then Denver, Seattle, and San Diego are all going to have 4 records.
It's very surprising. Nobody would have anticipated both Seattle and, well, many people felt that Seattle was going to have some problems, but Denver at 2-4, I don't think so.
I do feel this way about the Seattle Seahawks. Throw out that first ball game against the Bears, they did not play well. Since then, I think they have played as well as they possibly can under this man that you saw, Chuck Knox.
Well, I think you're right, and it's clear that this is somewhat of a rebuilding year for Seattle, but they're playing up to their capabilities. Today was just an example of the fact that the Raiders had them overmatched.
For the Raiders, Jay Schrader completed 19 of 26, 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. Gall 5 receptions for 73. Fernandez 5 for 71. For Seattle, Craig 22 of 36. 294 yards, 2 touchdowns. Spinner 5 receptions for 84 yards. He rushed 10 times for 35. And that's what it looks like in the AFC West.
It appears to me that today, Charlie, the shell game overpowered ground chuck.
No matter.
Starring Terry Garn, Robert Urich. That's tonight only on NBC. Elway on 1st and 10. Going deep for Mark Jackson. Penalty flag down on the play as Jackson came in from out of bounds. David Johnson with the interception that will be negated, I believe. There was contact between those two downfield.
Mark Jackson raving to his teammates to come on down. Obviously the penalty against David Johnson.
Pass interference, number 44, defense, automatic first down.
Pass interference on Johnson. Left side of your screen here. I think we've caught it right afterwards. You see the flag thrown about 20 yards back behind him. I think at that point you can't touch the receiver once he's gone a certain 10 yards down the field.
Out of the shotgun, John Elway throwing on first down. There's Sammy Winder who can't hang on. Are they calling it a completion?
No, incomplete pass.
Final just in, the LA Raiders have raised their record to 5-1. That's bad news for Bronco fans who see their team slip to 2-4 today. A 24-17 win. Jay Schrader throwing for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And Dan Reeves and I both agree that this season is broken up into 3 different sessions. The first 8 games you try to jockey to try to stay in it, and then injuries start to play a factor. You play the next 4 games still trying to stay in it, and then you go for that stretch to try to win your division or get involved in the playoffs. Once you get in the playoffs, everybody's got a chance to win, but playing like this, these Broncos have to improve a lot to even think about playoffs.
That last picture tells you the whole story of the way things have gone for Elway and Denver. They're down by 17.
Liberty.
Watch him right here as he hit Humphreys just as he throws it.
And that's a big 250 falling on you. Timeout, the Redskins. This always seems to be the story. Those turnovers. They had 3 today, the Redskins, none before.
The data are in.
They indicate that the baby is flowing.
They called Hugh McElhenney the king, for his running style was regal, a style that made him a legend of the game.
For naming the Mazda MPV best in class, we'd like to thank Car and Driver. For ranking it the most trouble-free minivan, J.D. Power & Associates. For naming it one of the top 10 import buys, Motor Trend. And for making the Mazda MPV the best-selling import minivan, we'd like to thank the Abbotts, the Ackermans, the Adisheks, the Agarus,
Mazda, it just feels right.
the Altons, the Ammermans, the Andersons.
It's America's Day at the Races, the richest event in the sport of kings. Live from Belmont Park, the Breeders' Cup, October 27th on NBC.
Total domination may be an understatement when you look at those numbers in the second half, the way the Pittsburgh Steelers manhandled. Chuck Noll gives us a little dance at the end of the contest.
That's what that was. He should give a little dance. He should be happy because his statistics on that were, on both of these graphics, are the good ones.
The 3rd and 10 situation with a minute 54 remaining. Broncos have it at the 34 of Pittsburgh. Underthrown by Elway for Ricky Nattiel. We remind you this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Denver Broncos and the NFL is prohibited. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The coordinating producer of NFL Football, John Paratzis. Coordinating producer for NFL Live, David Neal. The exceptional pictures provided for you this afternoon from Mile High Stadium by our producer Larry Cirillo and our director Dick Klein and our technical director today Lenny Stucker. 4th and 10. Last chance for the Broncos to hold on to the ball, and I believe they do. Depends upon the spot. 2 different opinions from the officials flying in now. The line judge spots it at the 24. He may be just short. I believe he is just short of the first down on 4th and 10.
You always want to run a route deep enough that when you catch the ball, it's deep enough for a first down.
Defense, 5 yards, still 4th down.
And it appeared that Ricky caught that ball.
Yeah, about the 23 almost.
Yes.
There was a flag on the play and a mark-off coming up.
Ricky Nattiel with a screw still in his leg says that he thinks that if they took that screw out, he'd feel a lot better. But it's a situation that when they do take the screw out, it leaves a hole, and it takes about a month for it to heal, so they won't take the screw out until the season's over. So he'll have to play with that screw in his leg.
Break for the Broncos. They get another chance on 4th down. This time 4th and 5. Aaron Jones knocks it away. It's picked up by Donald Evans. Evans has speed. Evans may take it all the way. He's chased by Sammy Winder. Evans inside the 15. His teammates are going to give him some trouble. Caught from behind by Winder near the 12.
But you know what? He was flying. Donald Evans was off to the races. It's just hard to stiff arm somebody behind you. That would have been a new move. And Elway, who has not had the best of protection all day here, trying to come out of there, drops the ball, and Evans with a nice scoop. Now look at him. That's as fast as I've seen a lineman run. And here comes Sammy Winder. Are we sure that's not going?
Looked like Keystone Cops.
It did. Was that going too fast?
You could see Kenny Davidson. He wanted to get a block down there on Winder, but he couldn't get there.
No, Kenny Davidson wanted the lateral.
Barry Foster on the carry. As now the Steelers.
We need to see that again.
59 yards on the return to mine.
Can we please see that one more time? Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime. Linemen don't get a chance to do this very often. Now, this is normal speed. Donald Evans. Shoot.
Give a lot of credit to Aaron Jones.
Donald Evans said, hey, you think like the refrigerator can play some running back? Watch his scoop. Now, watch. He puts it under his arm. Look at him. He's running well. And here comes Sammy Winder, and he just bulldogs him down to the ground. There's Donald Evans. He'll be talking about this one till, shoot, guys won't be wanting to sit next to him on the plane because that's all he'll be talking about. I had him, man. I had him.
Richard Bell on the carry to the 8-yard line. Half-minute left of the contest. Well, Donald Evans is a former second-round draft choice of the Los Angeles Rams. Rams thought enough of him to try him at fullback. Don't forget tonight on NBC. And it's coming up next, except on the West Coast. The hottest new show of the season, Hull High, followed by the critically acclaimed new series, Live Stories. And then it's a world premiere movie, A Quiet Little Neighborhood, A Perfect Little Murder. The viewers on the West Coast, don't forget to tune in at 7 o'clock Pacific. It's all coming your way tonight on NBC. So the Steelers overwhelm the Denver Broncos from the second quarter on. Steelers raise their record to the 500 mark. The Broncos are now at 2-4. A big day in Pittsburgh as they celebrate with the Steelers' victory. We'll be right back to wrap things up from Mile High.
No matter where you look, there's Mazda. We're introducing new products like the Miata, setting new sales records, winning the respect of the automotive press, and winning awards for both quality and customer satisfaction. But most important, we're making thousands of people feel just right.
If you have an insurance repair on your home and you have Allstate, it's in our hands. We know some very reliable contractors. It's our business too. So if you choose a contractor we recommend, we guarantee the workmanship of their repairs for 1 year. That's why you're in good hands with Allstate. A member of the Sears Financial Network.
It was a one-sided affair from the second quarter on as the Pittsburgh Steelers took apart the Denver Broncos, especially the Broncos secondary in a 17-point victory. Interesting development, Ahmad. We saw it last week with San Diego. The Chargers took it about 70 yards on their opening drive of the day against the Steelers defensive unit, turned it into a touchdown. Today, Denver, 80 yards and a touchdown from Sammy Winder, but from that point on, they were not the same team.
Just perfect execution on the first drive of the game, but from that point on, like you said, the Steelers just started putting it all together. They played excellent in every phase of the game today, offensively, defensively, and also their special teams. And I think you see just a growing confidence as you watch this Steeler team, as we have the last couple of weeks. They really feel they're in the hunt.
It's a team on a roll right now. They're gaining momentum, just like we saw at the end of last year, except on the West Coast. Coming up next, All High, life stories, and a quiet little neighborhood of perfect little murder. That's all tonight on NBC. For Ahmad Rashad, I'm Joel Myers. Thank you for joining us, everyone, from Denver.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. Come fly the friendly skies.
The preceding has been a presentation of NBC Sports.
Join hosts Ahmad Rashad and Julie Moran for the Inside Stuff.